This is a Glassbox Media podcast.
Okay, so I am pulling up a picture right now of bearded Zac Efron.
Is this from the movie?
I don't know what it's from.
First
I just
of all,
saw
I think Zac Efron is fucking hot.
Oh,
We've
he's
had
hot.
this conversation
I know.
on the podcast.
Way
Worth
hot.
saying again.
He's
fucking
very hot.
worth saying again because he is hot.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm a whole MILF.
The article
saying
is
that. Gross.
Zac Efron sports bushy beard and bulging biceps as he enjoys horseback riding during luxury escape to Costa Rica.
Two adjectives I never want to see or hear again together.
This is some rich
Bulgy
people shit
and
for sure.
Bushy. Oh, fucking fuck.
Yeah. Him in a beard is intensely hot
Boy.
because it ages him up.
Yeah, it
it
does.
makes him seem appropriate for me now.
Same. I don't feel like a fucking total predator now.
I know.
So
I'm like,
funny.
have
He
you
is-
met my friend Christina, who's
I
not
mean-
old enough to be your mother now?
That's also
Oh.
a really great haircut.
Which
I
In
know.
real life, you're not either. By
I
the way.
know,
But
but still.
I
oh
mean,
my God.
It is very hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very hot
Oh,
indeed.
bushy and bulging.
You know what's weird is that every girl my age loved Zac Efron because he's a couple of years older than me.
Yeah.
And High School Musical came out whenever I was like
Yeah.
in late middle school or early high school.
Which reminds me of something. Sorry.
Every girl my age loved him, and I didn't get it. Like
Right.
back in the day when he was like scrawny Troy in High School Musical.
No, it's
But
just recently where I'm
Recently,
like,
Oh, yeah.
and when he really leaned into comedy when
Yeah.
he got older.
Yes, where he
Yes.
could make fun of himself.
Right.
Oh, there's nothing sexier than a hot guy who can make fun of himself. That's why Channing Tatum, I know that you guys don't get it, but for me, that's what makes him so hot is that he kind of has a self-humor that I like, a self-deprecating humor.
who
which
else
I
is like
love.
that? John Cena.
Yes.
John Cena is not attractive at all, but he's funny.
It ups his level
ups his
so
level.
hard. That's when to me Dwayne Johnson became hot.
Oh,
because
yes.
when he started, I saw him years ago, like probably early 90s or late 90s or something, probably late 90s, maybe early 2000s, when he did a couple SNL skits, and I was like, this guy who like. Granted, I had friends who were like super into wrestling, so of course I got into it and I liked it, and I had a babysitter who watched wrestling, so I always thought it was like whatever. And I always was never really paid too much attention to him till he was on SNL, and I saw him as a funny guy, and I was like, well, you are the fucking hottest man I've ever seen.
And I will say with Dwayne Johnson now, like if you follow his Instagram, he's like got to be like world's greatest dad.
Oh, he's
So
the
cute.
and great husband. He's like
like
the
Yeah,
greatest.
He literally like lives and breathes for his family.
Yeah,
and it's
he's
super
the greatest,
attractive.
and he's so cute. I not even cute. He's hot, and I like
Yeah.
him a lot. But yeah, I mean, Zac Efron. I don't know how I came back around on. I mean, it was a very slow. I wanted to not like him. I wanted to not like him, and he
Right,
won me
totally.
over.
Same.
He won me
Same.
over.
I'll high five you for that. I was like, yes, same.
no,
And then you're like,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
no,
high five.
No. But no, I totally am with you because I do think it's exactly, you nailed it. You nailed it when you said it's the humor thing. A little slight bit of humor, especially for a guy who that you're like, oh, he's a fucking 10. And we know how we feel about 10s. We're
Right.
not about them.
Right.
But you're a 10 and then you're self-deprecating humor. You're like, fucking
I know you got me.
I don't want to, but
You got
here
me.
I fucking go.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
fucking hot.
yeah.
Didn't he do a movie with The Rock? Didn't they do Baywatch together?
Yes, which was so.
I didn't
funny.
see it,
It's-
but
it's
I-
not like
I
not
like
like a
them
watch
both,
it over and
though.
over again. But it's funny. And again, speaking of that self-deprecating humor, it's all that kind of shit, and it's so funny. But again, that's where I go with Channing Tatum. It's
Right.
the reason I find him
well,
so hot.
yeah, 21 Jump Street. He's
Oh,
hilarious
fuck.
in that movie.
I could watch 21 Jump Street like a billion times.
He is funny
You-
in that movie.
Yeah.
The Good Guys, we've already mentioned it before, but The Rock is so funny because
Yeah.
it's just a fucking hilarious show.
Yeah.
Which again, Marky Mark, to me, not somebody that I'm about, but when he does comedy, fucking all about him.
Dude, humor
You're
to
like,
me,
no.
I think
I'm
is
a
one of
no
my-
on Marky Mark.
You're a hard no.
Hard pass.
Humor is like my number one.
Same.
requirement.
humor is my number one. Yes,
Yes.
agreed.
You
Agreed.
have to make me laugh.
You have to make me laugh.
You cannot take life too seriously.
No.
And honestly,
Who has the
I'm,
time?
I'm somebody that like can easily spiral out and get in my head.
Oh yeah, so you
So
don't need anybody helping
I
perpetuate
do
that.
not need somebody who's uber serious. Like,
Yeah,
let's keep it
I'm-
light.
I
Keep it
can
light.
self-analyze myself. I'm very and I'm very like introspective already. Like
Yeah.
so trust me, I'm overthinking everything already.
So
I
make
don't
me laugh.
need I don't
So be
need you
funny.
to help me do that.
Yeah.
Please help
You
me.
know.
out.
Yes.
Speaking though, because you brought up High School Musical, and so I am not somebody who is at all into the Christmas spirit movie trope. It's not my thing. But lately,
it.
like Boobies and Newbies, Kelly from Boobies and Newbies had posted something about watching like a couple. I was like, maybe. I was like home and I had like a half day of work, and Chris hasn't gotten home yet, so I was like,
You guys
I'm gonna
cannot
get into
make me watch this Hallmark bullshit.
Oh.
stop.
Do not
Stop it.
try to get me in the
Yeah.
fucking Christmas spirit.
No.
Stop it right now.
I'm
but
going
listen,
to.
But listen, I just watched. I can't even remember. Like it's like Princess Swap or some
Oh
shit.
my God.
So
Cassie,
not
stop it.
me. I know, not in a million years. And so what do? And you know me. I am the fucking most cynical asshole in the world. I fucking watch Vanessa Hudgens in this fucking
Oh
shit.
my
Okay, I don't like her though.
Stop it. Listen.
You lost me.
Listen. The whole fucking movie, I'm like, what the fuck are they doing with her hair? Come on. And so she's supposed to be a princess, and yet she's wearing like a fucking miniskirt. What the fuck is this cheap ass Chanel,
Also, why
fake
is
ass
she a
Chanel shit?
princess?
Listen, I like
Princess of what?
Of what?
fucking of course, right? Like the princess of like the most unheard of like Bulgaria or some bullshit, you know, like
Okay.
something that sounds somewhat close to a real country, but is so not real country.
Oh my
it's
God.
all those movies are that way.
Oh my
like
God.
Monrovia. You're like,
Moldovia, yeah.
Well, more, but that's a real place. Monrovia is not a real place.
Dude, I'm
Or
not
Maldives, I think.
I was
is
gonna
what-
say I don't think it is a real place.
Yeah,
no.
Maldives is what I was thinking when you said that. The fucking funniest shit of like, I was literally dissecting this movie. I'm like, well, here it is, and this is why I don't watch Sappy.
Well,
my
I'm
God.
the worst
The
at
worst.
dissecting movies. Like, I mean, again, we just did a
that's
Crazy
right.
in Love, Cruel Intentions. It's on our Patreon. So, guys, if you want to,
deep dive into
you
that
want to deep dive
crazy
into that
ass
shit.
shit.
So I'm the worst to watch movies with when it's things like that because
Cynical as hell.
poor Anthony is just having to sit and listen to me be like, why did this happen? What the fuck is that?
Right.
Like through the
And
entire
you
thing.
expect me to believe this?
But
Yeah.
there is something that doesn't really interest me. Like the princessy ones, I'm like, no, thank you. But there is something about, and it's totally not for me. It's definitely targeted towards white people. It really is. But it is. Fucking Hallmark movies they are. But
Well, you didn't
there
watch the Christmas calendar then.
are no people of color in these movies unless they're side characters.
Nope, they were both
Ever.
main characters. So
Is it a Hallmark movie?
I think it was made for Netflix, which.
Okay, that doesn't count.
But it is a Christmassy Hallmark.
That's not the same. Hallmark movies, never.
Very
I have,
specific
I have
genre, though.
never seen a Hallmark Christmas movie.
I went.
Well, they
I
made
went
like 13
out on
new
a date
movies this
with
year.
the guy that
It's their thing.
does the programming for the Hallmark
Oh,
channel.
fucking yes. Where is this guy and why have we not heard about him?
I feel like I told you about him in an
No.
earlier episode.
don't
he
think so.
He was like head of programming at the Hallmark Channel, and close your eyes.
Okay.
Oh, we literally.
And-
okay.
I'm closing them.
I'm the worst at this.
Yeah, I hate this too, but go ahead.
Picture who you think would be the head of programming at the Hallmark Channel.
Is it that guy?
It's totally that guy.
Ooh.
I'm
See,
talking
I'm
Dockers.
I'm
talking-
picturing like a pastel sweater.
Yes,
Oh.
you got it.
Oh,
You
no.
got it. What color?
I,
You
I
might
thought
get it.
pink, but
I was going green.
or like
green
a
pastel.
blue, like a light blue.
Screen.
Green
Oh.
pastel.
Oh,
Yay.
Miss out Dockers.
Yeah.
Got
and-
the shirt underneath it with the collar.
Yes, he does. Does he? Is he
mm.
wearing? Here's the question: is he wearing like 1990s Eastlands? Brown shoes.
They were brown.
Like
I don't know what that is, but they were brown loafers. Oh my god! And the freaking hair,
Nailed it,
like
Hallmark guy.
everything about him
that's
just
awesome.
like screams.
So you
like,
are
it was like a human mozzarella stick.
You-
That's what
I just want to say for the record that Christina is supporting my claim. That
I was
is
like,
Yeah.
he
White
was
bread.
literally-
White bread.
It's white
I get-
bread.
I get it.
You know,
It
and
was.
that is what Hallmark Christmas movies are. They
I've
are
never been more
white
bored
bread.
in my fucking life.
They are the thing about Hallmark Christmas movies. They're the most predictable, 100%.
100%.
You know what's going
The
to happen.
worst.
It's
Yes.
always the same. literally, it's always the same. It's always high-powered business city lady who takes job very seriously, gets, for some reason, is in a small town, meets widower with charming daughter.
Right.
And
Why do they always have charming children?
And he teaches her how to love again, and then she stays
And there's
there.
a dog.
And there's always a dog.
Oh, yeah.
Always a golden retriever, probably.
Yes.
Or a collie
or
of some
some
kind.
guy who might be Santa Claus who also has mysterious powers.
Yes.
that
Oh,
can bring
yes.
you together.
Yes.
And there's usually like a magical Negro trope happening there, where if there is a person of color, it's like an old black man, like or a Bagger Vance
Wise,
type that's like
wise,
wise and can direct you in the right direction.
Yes.
And
Oh
so
my God.
Or
he's the special
sassy,
love interest.
sassy black friends.
or sassy black friend.
Because in
Yeah.
the Vanessa Hudgens one, he was the love interest. He also had a daughter.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
So, I mean, I understand the ways in which these movies are highly problematic and also not necessarily created for me. But I
Also, though, kind of feel like you should watch that. The Christmas calendar is actually one that I was like follows the tropes, but it was cute. It was cute.
Well, I trust Netflix more than I trust Hallmark, to be honest. I do. Like, as far as being
This
less
episode is
shitty.
brought to you by Hallmark. Hallmark,
I know.
watch all your favorite Christmas shows this season.
I mean, but this whole thing started because I mean, I'm criticizing Hallmark Christmas movies, but I watch them.
oh yeah,
and
I'm
I
cynical
enjoy
as
them.
fuck. I don't enjoy them. I don't know what I
I
was
do.
thinking. I am the most cynical asshole, fucking Aries to the T. And I'm sitting downstairs watching the fucking shit. I was like, what the fuck? I don't even know. I don't even enjoy rom-com. Regular good rom-com usually. I mean, I have to be in a real mood to hit I'm talking a real good one. So for me to enjoy something that is only half-assed, put together with the same tropes over and over.
Oh
like,
my God.
I was like, do I hate myself?
Have you guys rewatched Love Actually recently?
Last
Oh
year
my
we did.
God.
And I was like, I actually didn't hate it this time around.
I love Love Actually. I love it
people
and
love
adore
it.
it very much.
Have you rewatched it?
Yes, I watch it
recently?
every year.
Oh my God.
I love it.
I can't
I have no
even.
shame.
But my
I
favorite
loved
Christmas
it
movie,
the first time I saw it, and then I rewatched it. I think like last year, and I was like,
It's
I hate
problematic.
this movie.
It's problematic. It's got its issues, but I think maybe it's less about my love for Hallmark movies or my love for Love Actually, and more about my love for feeling Christmassy.
Oh,
I just love the feeling of like all of that Christmas happy
Well,
glow feeling.
I know who's the fucking Grinch in this situation.
Me.
This one right
Oh, I
here.
think it was about me because I just said how much I
No,
hated it.
handyman was yelling at me. He's like, "So when are you going to get your tree?" I'm like, "I never get a tree."
I don't
He's like,
either.
What?
No.
I'm like, no,
No.
I don't decorate for Christmas.
Look,
Whatever.
my
He's
son-
like, you have to get a little tree. I'm
No.
like,
I always
I
get a
don't gotta
little
do
tree.
shit.
I always get a little tree.
I don't either. And I'm like, I'm you. And Chris said to me something this year. I was like, so, because we have to move now. And I was like, well, I guess we can get rid of that fucking tree that I'm never going to put up again. He's like, you're never going to put up the tree again? I'm like, you put up the fucking tree. I'm fucking done. Dude, my kid's 21 now. I haven't put up a Christmas tree since we had kids home celebrating
Anthony
Christmas.
and I will
I'm
take your
fucking-
Christmas tree.
You want it?
Because we've been getting real, like, little fake
No,
ones
it's
every year.
It's a fake one. And
Oh no! Sorry, we've been getting real little trees.
Oh, yeah.
Like little baby Christmas trees every year.
Yeah.
But I'm
It's
like,
actually a
I'll
really
take
nice one.
I'll take a real like fake Christmas
real
tree
fake one?
and put it up. Yeah,
you can have it.
I freaking love Christmas.
There you
I
go.
Dude,
love.
I'd love to give it to you because I
love
want
the
it to get a good
holidays.
use. I don't want to just throw it away.
Thanksgiving's
it.
my holiday. That's
Yeah.
the one that I
love Thanksgiving.
get
I love
jazzed
Halloween.
about.
I love Christmas. I love New Year's.
I do
love
love Christmas. I'm not going
holidays.
to play.
Yeah.
I do. And I do love Christmas. Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. I love spending time with friends and family. I love that Thanksgiving has turned into that a little bit because we have, I mean, what 27 people less?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. Beautiful. The best time. And just sharing all that love. But to me, it's like Thanksgiving and Christmas have all become kind of one to me because it's been all of us supporting each other in that way. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Last year was honestly my favorite Christmas that I've had in like
So we went
a
to
long
Vegas.
time.
Yeah, that was great.
That was the funnest.
Yeah.
So much fucking fun.
I love everything about it. I love like it being.
was.
I love holding up in your house on Christmas and watching Christmas movies and eating good food and everything kind of smelling like cinnamon. I'll
Yeah.
make
I think it's
mulled
like
wine.
a
I love
family
it.
or like couple thing. I think
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not
Maybe
looking
that's why we
forward
like
to
Vegas so much.
Christmas this year.
Good. We'll
You
hang
can
out.
come over.
We'll,
I'm like,
we'll all hang out.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
Like,
Because we're not
I
going
am,
to Vegas.
I'm
We talked about
grinchy.
going to Vegas, but
Are
I
we
think
all
we're
staying in LA?
Yeah.
Then let's hang out on Christmas.
do it.
That's what we should do.
yeah, definitely.
But I'm
So
going to
I'm
force
gonna
you guys
tell
to
you my
watch Christmas
favorite-
movies with me.
I'm gonna
It's-
tell you my favorite
I'll
Christmas
tell you
movie.
the first time though that I hear that Mariah Carey song,
Oh,
I'm
fuck
fucking
off.
out.
Yeah, I'm out. I hate that song.
Then you
All
can't
of it.
watch Love Actually. Sorry.
He's like, well, then you can go fuck yourself because that's playing nonstop in my house.
You can stay out of my beautiful cinnamon scented house. Get out.
Oh my God, that's so great. My favorite Christmas movie, though, Family Stone.
Oh, that movie's great.
God,
I
it's so
feel
good.
so bad though for freaking.
I know it's
what's
awkward,
her face
but I
in there.
love it.
Sarah Jessica
It's
Parker.
so awkward.
She's
So
like finding herself, and it's great.
That family's fucking terrible, though. They're so mean.
They're
so mean.
They're
Except for
horrible.
Wilson.
Except for Luke Wilson.
Yeah, Luke Wilson.
Because every time I watch that movie, I'm like,
why do we think he's attractive? I've always thought
he's a weird, but I still
super
think he's
attractive.
attractive. I don't know why.
I don't want to do it on this one. I want to do it one closer to Christmas, but I think we should do like handsome movie guys from
Christmas hunk?
movies. Christmas hunks.
Christmas hunks.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
closer to Christmas,
Yeah,
we'll do
for
a
our
Christmas hunk
episode. That's good.
Okay.
for sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, I totally understand not loving Christmas. And I understand the obnoxiousness of hearing Christmas songs. I don't listen to Christmas music until after Thanksgiving. I'm one of those. Like, I don't decorate for
yeah.
Christmas until after Thanksgiving.
Same.
I let that stuff happen. I'm not one of those who's like, November 1st, trees going up. Like, that's
Right.
not
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
But I also enjoy that time of year. Like, I
Yeah.
love driving through Burbank and they have the giant snowflake light fixtures
Oh, yeah.
all down the street. And I'm just like, this feels great. I love I'm a sucker for the Starbucks holiday cups. Like, I like all of that stuff.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
there's a
that's so cute.
little tiny part of me that like still has that nostalgia feeling for it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It comes from childhood
I'm
and, like-
more cynical. And again, I think it's all those years of decorating by myself for a family that's barely appreciate. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's something too about like,
Yeah.
there's something, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
Christmas was like fine in our house. We didn't put our tree up until December 24th.
Oh,
though,
wow.
every year.
Wow.
So
That
we,
is
yeah,
real cutting it.
and then we would decorate it, and then like promptly after, like the next day after Christmas was truncated in my
like,
family.
I see.
2 days. That's all we got time for. That's it. Christmas is here and it's over and we're done.
bye.
Oh,
So-
we always
So
had
the whole,
like
like,
a lot of
season
Christmas
thing, I'm just like,
traditions, like Christmas season traditions.
Yeah.
And we left our tree up because my mom did we left our tree up till Epiphany. So it
Oh.
was,
That's my birthday.
Yes.
January 6th.
and my brother's birthday was January 5th.
I honestly
so
was like,
it would
I don't know
always
what you
be
guys
up.
are talking about. I was like, what's Epiphany?
Epiphany is
it's
supposed to symbolize the
when the
time
wise-
because Jesus was born, right? And then
Of course.
of course we know this. And then the three wise men took their time. Like, they didn't get to him until like 3 months later
Oh,
or whatever. Because they saw the North Star when he was born, and then they're like, we need to travel all the way over there on fucking camels and shit. So it's going to take a while.
got it.
So it took them like 3 months. So Epiphany is supposed to represent the time between Christmas and when the wise men arrived.
Ah.
So you celebrate when the wise men.
But it wasn't actually 3 months. It's like,
No, you do it
a week.
You do it in a couple weeks. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
got it.
It's like the 12 days
12
of Christmas.
days. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, well, now that was
Somebody
Christmas
who was raised
lessons.
in the church and apparently did not pay any fucking attention. Apparently,
Yeah.
That was
Like,
that was
what's
Sunday
that?
school with Keegan.
Well, yeah. Well, I went to Catholic school, so we
Yeah.
had
got
a flat out religion class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
by the
So-
way, this is my worst date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
And I'm Christina.
And we want to give a shout out, a special shout out to our new Patreon patron.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, Patreon subscriber, that's not it. To our new patron, Emily Naz or Naz. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce your last name, but thank you so much
Is it
for.
weird that I hope it's Nas like the rapper?
I kind of hope it's Naz too. I really want.
'cause
I
Nas
want
is
it to
one of
be.
my
Let's
favorite
decide.
rappers.
If it's not like that, it is now.
It is
So,
now.
yeah.
Yes. To
Unfortunately,
us.
we've changed your name.
To us.
No, we didn't.
Yes. If you want to correct us, feel free to reach out to us.
We'll come back with a corrections corner and you'll get 2 shout outs.
Yeah, double the shout outs, double the
Double
fun.
shout-outs.
So thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. We really, really appreciate it, and we're super,
Yeah.
super grateful for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for shout
Oh,
outs.
we should. I wrote down a fuck, marry, kill.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
So
Let's do
I'm
it.
really excited. I
Cool.
thought about it this morning, but I wanted to do the traditional rom-com
Oh.
fuck, marry, kill.
Ooh,
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So I went back and I looked through. I Google searched top rom-coms and everything, which of course you have
Brought up Top Ramen.
Yeah. But
you have the typical guys who are in like
typical
every
guys
single...
that are in a
Yes.
whole bunch of them. So I'm like, of course you have Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
Of course.
He was in so many of them.
Who
Notting
looks
Hill.
fucking
In the
awful.
90s.
Have you seen him recently?
Oh, really?
No.
That's really mean of me to say. I'm sorry, Hugh Grant, if you are listening. I'm
He's
so sorry.
definitely listening.
He's in a...
Oh my God.
Can you imagine if he was listening?
just dropped his teacup?
He's like, why?
Keegan, why? I'm doing work for an Amazon show called, it's a limited series called A Very English Scandal. And he's the lead in it. And I'm just like,
What happened?
I know he's not a young man anymore, but I'm like, you really look it though.
Oh, that's
Aw.
unfortunate.
And I'm like, no, I love you.
Just not aging well.
And so we've got Hugh Grant, and then we also have Tom Hanks, who was like
Okay.
in all of them in
Yes.
the 80s,
Cool.
you know?
Yeah.
And then I struggled to find another one that was just as iconic. So I've got those two.
Mm-hmm.
My third one that I wrote down was John Cusack, because he's in a couple of
He's in
them.
a considerable number
Yeah.
before he made a weird transition into like odd horror movies.
Right. But so you've got that, or I thought also Matthew McConaughey was in a
Oh,
couple of
yeah.
them in the 90s. You know, he's got
so
wedding
typical, yeah.
wedding planner.
He's
And
classic.
so should we do Matthew McConaughey?
I think we do Matthew
Yeah.
McConaughey.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
like that.
Hugh Grant, Tom Hanks, Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
Fuck, Mary,
And
kill.
we're talking
And
about
we're talking
their
about
peak.
their rom-com peaks.
Peak. Okay.
So none of this stuff before or after.
Okay.
So we're
So-
talking like Notting Hill, Hugh Grant.
Right.
We're
Yes.
talking like Wedding Planner, Matthew McConaughey. And we're
Yep.
talking about like Sleepless in Seattle, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay. Fuck, Mary,
Like it.
kill.
All right. All right.
Oh, I like this
Cool.
one.
Cool. Ooh,
It's a tough one.
that is a toughie.
Because
think I got it.
rom-coms are designed to make you want to marry all of them.
I
Do
think
you know
I've
what
got,
I mean?
Totally.
I think I've got it too, and it pains me on a very deep level.
Yeah.
I think I would fuck McConaughey,
Oh, God.
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Wedding Planner McConaughey. Whew.
Yeah.
This one's hard for me because
You're a Notting Hill girl.
I'm
You love
a
that
Notting
show.
Hill girl. I've always wanted to marry a British person. I was obsessed with England, like growing up.
Anthony, work on that accent.
I know.
Practice.
He's at home listening to dialect tapes. Like, okay. But how can you not marry Tom Hanks?
I mean, come
I
on.
feel like I have to marry Tom Hanks and I have to kill Hugh Grant. I'm sorry.
I'm 100% the same.
Yeah.
And it's the tough part for me was actually who do I kill, Matthew McConaughey or Hugh Grant? Actually, you know what? Because I'm going to say it. Unpopular opinion. Matthew McConaughey gets on my fucking nerves.
No,
And
he gets on my nerves
his
too.
accent actually bothers me more
Yeah.
than Hugh Grant.
He gets
And
on my
I
nerves.
have never been a Hugh Grant fan.
Hmm.
And I know that's weird, but I've never really got on board. I never really saw it. But I actually think I'm going to switch it up because at least
Okay.
I can fucking handle Hugh Grant talking to me.
Okay.
Whereas I
Understood.
don't think that I could handle Matthew McConaughey speaking to me in person.
He probably does make weird sex
So-
noises.
Oh, he probably does, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
So,
are
he
right
plays,
about that.
He plays
so,
the fucking
yeah,
bongos.
I'm actually going to
Naked.
Yeah, I can't get it. I can't get down for it. Like, it's so not me. I would much rather a stiffy upper lip.
You know he'll get sand in your sheets.
Yeah, no,
For
see,
sure.
You keep you ruining it for me. So
But
I'm going
there's
to go.
something about Hugh Grant that makes me think not good.
That's fine.
At
It's only
sex.
once.
Yeah.
But you're right. You
Yeah.
are right.
I'm gonna go with. So I'm gonna go with kill Matthew McConaughey.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Fuck Hugh Grant. You gotta marry Tom
yeah, marry
Hanks.
Hanks.
Ugh. You
All right.
do.
Are you ready?
Oh, Christina.
Oh,
Gotta
don't
look.
Don't you kill Tom Hanks?
He's a fucking treasure.
He's a national treasure.
Cassie and I will walk out, actually.
I know. Well,
End of the
so
episode. End of the season.
I'm going to fuck Matthew McConaughey
Okay.
because
He's sexy.
he is. He's
I mean, he doesn't have to
ridiculously
talk.
hot. I'm gonna marry Hugh Grant.
Oh,
And I'm gonna kill Tom Hanks.
Oh,
I'm sorry, guys.
Goodbye. We're done here.
Tom, he really did walk out and left me.
oh, girl.
Tom Hanks, I'll say it, is too nice for my cold, dark heart. I just think he's too nice.
Okay.
I have to be
am the
honest
worst.
with
I'm
myself.
sorry.
I mean,
I have to be
it's
honest. I should want to marry Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Everyone should because he's a wonderful,
He is a national
beautiful
treasure.
man. He's amazing. He's in every way. I've heard nothing but nice things about him from people that have like met him,
Which is a difficult
legitimately.
thing in this industry, and to have been in this industry
Right.
for that long and not hear anything negative is impressive.
But I got to know myself, and I know that I've never gone for the nice guy.
I appreciate your
unfortunately.
honesty.
So I would probably marry Hugh Grant, who has been in some pretty problematic situations over the
Yeah.
years.
But you
So-
love problems.
I do. I love problems.
And he had really good hair at his prime.
You're like, I got 99 problems and Hugh Grant's one.
Yeah, he is.
and his
definitely
accent
one.
is charming and cute.
Yeah, and that's
really
that's
is.
what led it. I'm like, Matthew McConaughey, I don't think I could marry him because that's
No.
too wacky. But
And
yeah,
his freaking like Lincoln commercials. I was like,
Oh.
we are done with this.
Yes.
I cannot get behind
That's
these goddamn
terrible.
commercials.
Also super Jesus-y, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah.
is he for real?
Yeah, they're like super Christian, like he and his wife, which is fine. It's just, not for me.
yeah.
And I find that British people aren't across the board very churchy.
Right.
So
Yeah.
kind of another sell for me on
So
the.
that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion.
Different answers.
Yeah.
You know what? I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah.
You know yourself. That's
I appreciate
good.
your honesty. We're
Yeah.
not friends anymore.
I would get. I mean, I'm like, I would marry Tom Hanks, and I would be the asshole that will like
ruin him.
ruin him.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
We
who
don't want
wants
you
to
ruin
be
him.
responsible for ruining Tom Hanks?
You
No
can't.
one.
Come on. You don't want to have that on
That
your
is
conscience.
yes. Yeah. That's fair.
You know what? And honestly, that is very
It's
selfless.
selfless.
It's
exactly.
selfless.
You're falling
Come
on your
on.
sword here.
Yeah.
Good
Exactly.
job.
It's like
Yeah.
dog love. That's like selfless dog love right there.
I know.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Unconditional. Really well.
Well, on that note, let's go ahead and take 5, and then we will come back with stories.
Sounds good.
Right. Bye.
And we're back.
I gave that to you.
I know.
I want you to know.
I know. Oh, I know. You
you
made
gave
eye
the cue.
contact with me.
Yeah.
You should do
It's
like
a gift.
you should really do it like a
Merry motherfucking Christmas.
You should do it like a
right.
radio producer where you count down and you're like
And 5.
1,
And you have the point.
2, and then you point.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. I'm going to
Yes.
start doing that.
Okay, so I am gonna go first this week since I have our crazy in love story.
Sam.
So the subject of this email is she shit the bed,
Oh, Jesus.
which we've been here before.
Yeah,
We've
we
been here
have.
before.
It never gets less terrifying,
No,
actually.
this is a comfortable place for us. Okay,
Yeah.
or an uncomfortable place.
Yeah.
All right. I had been seeing this girl for a while. Things were going well. She treated me kindly, and all of our friends were mutual. One night, after a few drinks, we went back to her place and began the process of lovemaking. Which is an interesting way to put that. So
Began the process. Oh.
near the end, she, shit the bed. We were both shocked.
Straight to it.
We were both shocked at what had happened, but I did my best to pretend that I hadn't noticed. I mean, how could you not notice? I immediately
Wait.
pause. Time out.
Okay, so they begin the process of lovemaking. What? How did
Something
she shit
must
the
have
bed?
happened. It's unclear.
Okay,
It is not addressed.
there are many different scenarios.
Right.
I think.
Well, I might be able to answer one question that I see burning behind your eyes as this email continues.
Okay.
Okay.
So he says, I immediately jump up and said, wow, great sex. Thank you. I'm going to take a shower now.
Wow. Great sex. Thanks so much.
Which is like the nicest thing you could do in that situation. He just pretended he didn't notice,
Uh-huh.
got out of bed and got in the shower.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I figured that if I went straight to the shower, I'd be able to wash off without making a fuss about it.
Oh.
And that would give her the opportunity to change the bed sheets and do likewise. When I came out after an intense scrubbing, the bed was changed and she was wearing a robe. She took a shower soon after as well. We dated for a few more months before we eventually realized we weren't a perfect fit. We're still friends to this day, more or less, but neither of us has ever mentioned the bed shitting since.
Oh.
The lesson here, hey, bodies are weird, and when you have sex, you're likely interacting with sections of the body that also perform other functions, many of which are super gross. Eventually,
Okay.
we all
Butt
shit
stuff.
the bed. Eventually, we all shit the bed, in a manner of speaking, and we owe it to each other to treat such events with kindness and understanding.
Aw, that's sweet.
Yep.
What a sweet
Sincerely,
way.
sheet shitting solidarity in Singapore.
Oh.
And then he says, P.S. It was not anal.
Oh.
Oh.
So he does address that. He says it was not anal.
Oh.
I was convinced.
I did too.
I was
so was
like,
I.
But
I was like, well, then you brought it on yourself because you play with fire, you're going to get burned.
Yeah, which he clearly knows.
So
that.
there you go.
I mean, he clearly knows that. I think it's a really sweet email because
It is sweet.
It handles something that so many like other people. I was
So
gonna
brutal.
say guys, but it's not just guys. So
No.
many other people would make such an enormous deal out of. And while I would be so grossed out, I do think that I'm the kind of person who would do this more likely than I would be like, what the fuck? Like I would far more likely get up quietly and
Yeah, I would too.
because I would understand. I'm so empathetic that
Me
I think
too.
I would understand the other person is so
Mortified.
horrified.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's happened to me. But again, I was playing with fire.
Yeah.
True.
There was a rumble in the jungle. Things had to end very abruptly, and then pretended like it never happened. But yeah, it's like it's all in someone how they handle it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not very experienced in that, and I'm very lucky that the person was kind and like thought, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Was
Thank
like
God.
this kind of thing
You're
happens because I was like,
Embarrassed enough.
I want to kill myself
Yeah.
Right.
immediately.
Yeah.
If not sooner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. You play with
Mortifying.
fire,
Sheet
you're gonna get
shitting
burned.
solidarity.
Sheet shitting solidarity.
Stuff happens. There you go.
Shit happens, literally.
Literally.
You want me to go next?
Yeah, go for
Okay.
it.
This one says, "Hi, ladies. Before you read this, I'd like you to keep two things in mind. One, I was in a bad place when this happened, living through the horror of Hurricane Katrina decimating my city. And two, I pulled out of this okay and am now actually a doctor with a little more self-esteem than what I had back then.
Okay, girl, come out on top.
All right, good.
I like it. I like this already. I love a good come back on top.
Me
story.
too.
Yeah. So it was September of 2005, and I had evacuated from New Orleans to California and was in limbo, waiting to get word when it was safe to return. I was staying with my sister for a few weeks and living off a Unisom, sleeping 16 hours a day, crying while I was reading news out of New Orleans and wasting time on MySpace. Basically, I was in a real shitty mental space.
I mean, could you imagine? Of course, we all saw what happened in Katrina, and
but we saw from a distance.
And we saw from a distance, and we, weren't directly affected, but we saw the devastation of the fires here.
Yeah.
Imagine going somewhere else and seeing LA like burning or, underwater or destroyed. It would be, it's your home.
Yeah.
It's so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It is so heartbreaking. So I mentioned MySpace because this is the source of the disaster that is about to unfold.
Oh, no.
This hadn't happened to me before, so forgive me for being naive, but somehow some rando sent me a direct message saying he saw my pic and would like to get to know me. He lived in Santa Cruz, near where I was staying, and despite him not being that attractive and us not having any friends in common, I somehow agreed to meet him for a date. Probably the Unisom doing its evil work. On the day we agreed to meet, he said something along the lines of, just call me when you're ready and I'll let you know where I'm at. Fine. I called at the designated time and he says, well, I'm at Costco. Can you meet me here? Red flag number 1, but I had nothing better to do, so sure.
What is this? Like the random just being like, well, I'm
at
at
Costco.
Target if you just want to stop by.
Stop
like,
on by.
Why?
I'm expecting to just pick him up and we can go out somewhere, but I swing by the front door and he wants me to park and come inside because he wasn't done shopping. OMG, what am I getting myself into?
Wow. Can you imagine like the amount of effort he put into this date is really blowing my face off.
Well,
Yeah.
do you remember we had someone write in about a date where
Target.
they went to Target?
Yes.
And he was like, I need to pick up some stuff for my house. It's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. During my only free time, I'm going to take you on a date. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
here we go. His entire shopping trip consisted of buying a pack of white tube socks. I don't know why he needed me to come inside for that, but it was over soon enough. And then we were in my car trying to figure out where to go. I was young and poor and potentially lost everything. So when he suggested a cheap cafe that was coincidentally has a laundromat in it, I thought nothing of it.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
What the fuck?
It's a college town. I went to or UCSC, was as an undergrad, so I knew the spot well. Just one more thing, though. Could I swing by his house because he wanted to pick up his laundry? Oh, boy.
Shut your fucking face.
Oh my God. I hate doing my own
I
laundry,
know.
let alone hang around a stranger and watch them do
At a
theirs.
laundromat cafe. Yeah.
Oh, no. And you're literally airing your dirty laundry in front of me on our first date.
I know.
And you're literally like, I can't be bothered to actually carve out time for
No,
you.
you
But
need to
if
come
you
with me
want
on
to
my
come with
errands.
me
On my
to do my
errands.
fucking chores.
And
Yeah.
drive me there.
Oh my God.
Oh.
So fucking weird.
My God.
I hate this guy.
Oh, I hate him. I hate him.
She says this was in parentheses. She also says this was also a period of time where I had recently lost a ton of weight and hadn't yet figured out that I was hot and could do much better than this.
Aw.
I can relate to that. That's so sweet. So we pick up the laundry and proceed to get it done. The whole cafe thing was a ruse because we didn't even eat or have a drink. I'd be
Oh, you are buying me some
Yeah.
fucking nachos if I have to like sit. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
I'd be really generous if I said he was funny, but I don't even think he was. He had this narrow shaved head and was wearing a white t-shirt and super baggy black shorts, and maybe there was some jailhouse tattoos poking through that I suppressed.
Oh my
I sat there
God.
through the entire wash and dry cycles. I know, what the fuck. The laundry is done, and I'm thinking, okay, we're in the clear. I drop him off at home, and he wants me to come into a little voice
Does
of
he
fuck
want you to like
politeness.
scrub his toilets?
Yeah,
or
right?
like do the dishes?
Any other chores we got?
Yeah.
in mind?
Watch his kids or so him and his wife can go out or
I
something.
know.
Oh shit! But this little voice of fuck politeness is trying to speak up. He tries to kiss me as I'm getting ready to leave, which completely catches me off guard. So okay,
No.
maybe we made out a little bit.
Oh!
And then he says, "What are you doing on Thursday?" I've never been a good liar, so nothing immediately comes out of my mouth. And he asks, "Would you want to drive me to San Jose for my court date?" No.
I'm fucking dead right now.
I am so mad.
I'm not done. So funny. Oh my God, so fucked up, my court date.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I never heard from him again. But between then and now, I've had dates with someone that I didn't realize was underage. I was in my 20s and found out on the date. 2, he was 17. Luckily, nothing had happened between us, and I squashed that real quick. 2, someone that told me they loved me on the first date. Probably the scariest thing that have happened to me in dating
Girl,
life, really.
save these.
Yeah.
Save these and write these in.
Oh, I know. And
we
then
want more. This
3,
was hilarious.
I know. Someone who tried to give me a gift on the first date, and it turned out to be an Adderall because he thought it might help me since I was tired from being on call the night before. Oh boy. Not the way to impress a doctor.
Wow.
Hope you enjoyed, and
write
always remember,
these
ladies, if someone starts with "meet me at Costco," just say no.
Oh my God. Right in your other stories.
That's good advice.
My skin is on fire. Like,
I
I am
know.
so mad for you.
Come with me and do chores.
Oh.
And then pick me up for my court
Oh,
date.
and
my
drive
God.
me. I'm sorry, to San Jose? Is
Yes.
that-
San Jose.
So
for my
you
court
want me
date.
to drive you like 4 or 5 hours from LA?
from Santa Cruz?
Oh, from Santa Cruz.
But still, we just
No
met.
thanks.
Oh
No.
my God.
It's
No
a
thanks.
no.
You took me to a laundromat date and Costco tube sock.
oh my
Yeah,
God.
no.
No.
Oh, I'm infuriated for her.
Oh God.
People
Thank you for
are
that.
so rude.
But yes, do send in those stories.
Please,
I need to
mean,
hear.
yes.
I need to especially hear more about this underage dude. That's
I know that-
crazy.
Did he lie about his age?
I
Or-
know.
yeah,
I
I've got
questions. Yeah. Oh,
we need
that's-
answers.
Thank you for that. Ugh.
All right. This one got emailed into us from a guy. He says, when Plenty of Fish was the only place with new people on it and I was fresh to dating, I was very interested in exploring who people were. This curiosity combined with what we all now know to be a dating cesspool site gave me a lot of material.
Oh God.
I matched with a Tampa Bay Buccaneers cheerleader, okay?
Ooh.
This woman should have set off all the red flags for me from the beginning when all her pictures were mostly boobs and bleached out black rooted hair held up way too high and makeup way too thick. But Through conversations and pictures, she proved that she was like a pro football cheerleader. She mentioned serving in Afghanistan as a flight medic.
Oh, shit.
So
She
who am I
says-
to not go on a date with a woman like that? Selfless service, doing big work, and an elite cheerleader. Get out of town.
Right. I mean, it
yeah.
sounds like a fucking win.
Yeah, exactly.
It
What are you
sounds-
bitching about?
It sounds too good to be true. But also, I don't know why makeup is a
Red flag.
disqualifier.
Yeah.
I know.
Like, why is
If
why
that's not
is-
if that's not your jam, keep swiping. You know. What I'm
yeah,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
boobs aren't your thing, yeah, you should
Yeah.
definitely keep
saying?
swiping.
As a makeup wearer, I take offense to that.
As somebody who
but-
has boobs, I take offense.
Okay, we started texting and then we were finally able to meet at a place she picked. I knew it was on a rougher side of town, but I wasn't worried since I'm a bigger guy. I thought about changing from my work attire, which was a sweater vest and a bow tie, but I didn't really have time, so
Wait,
I
I'm
pulled
sorry,
up.
Wait, go back. Wait, I went into what his job is for a sweater vest and a bow tie. He said he's coming from work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Right in.
What?
Let him know what his job is.
Yeah,
I don't know what that
Equates to.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
I don't know. It's not Cheesecake Factory.
No.
They were whites, but
And his vest.
yeah.
They wear a vest, don't they? Not a sweater vest.
Not a
just
sweater
like
vest.
regular.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he pulls up next to a line of Harley Davidsons. I laughed at myself going into a rough dive bar in a sweater vest, but I was fine with
And
it.
a bow tie. Let's go back to the bow tie.
I walked in and there she was waiting for me to come in, but was sitting across from another guy.
Oh,
The first thing she said, not even a hello, was a comment about Mr. Rogers.
yes. I feel like this girl.
He says, I liked the ball busting.
Yeah.
And said it was like the start of a joke. So Pee Wee Herman walks into a motorcycle bar.
I love it. That's so funny.
She laughed, and so did the other guy, who I suddenly realized was standing to meet me and definitely listening in on the conversation. My first thought was that he was her brother, keeping her safe. That was cool with me. A lady can't be too careful, especially in a biker bar. But turns out she accidentally agreed to meet two guys from Plenty of Fish
Oh.
and said, but we're all friends here, right?
Oh my god, I love her.
Bitch, double booked.
I actually everything about her
is
so
so
far.
fucking
She's like,
funny.
and begin.
Because you're in the Thunderdome.
Exactly.
Oh, here's
Two
the
men
thing.
enter, one man leaves.
Exactly. There can only be one. I kind of love it. I kind of love that instead of doing what I would do,
This
which
is fucked up, though.
it's totally
Yeah.
fucked up, but I kind of love that if it's a mistake that anyone could make if you're online dating. You know, Christina, you've gone on dates. Like,
Oh, yeah.
But would you invite two people to the same place?
I don't know. I will tell you, when I've been in the midst of like heavy matching swiping and stuff, scheduling does get a little wonky.
It's
You do
tricky.
need to take notes. You need to be organized.
You got to be organized. And
You have a
I'm
spreadsheet.
I'm
Yeah.
not, and if that happened to me, my immediate instinct would be to panic, and hers was not, and I kind of appreciate it.
It was like, well,
She's like, I'm going to run to the restroom and then leave.
And then
that would have been,
Yes.
this
That would've
is
been me.
Horrible.
Yeah.
What have I done?
so
We're all friends here.
he laughed to himself and bought a pitcher of beer because might as well go along for the whole ride, right?
Yes.
And I thought I was probably getting played for free beer at that point, but the conversation would prove otherwise. I found myself naturally owning the attention of her conversation while the other guy just made vaguely sexual jokes about her wanting a gangbang.
Oh.
Oh, that's a no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't going well for him. So he asked if I wanted to go play pool. I agreed as I knew this wasn't going anywhere. She didn't follow us, but whispered in my ear that she wasn't leaving and was waiting that guy out. I did not care at this point, but whatever. 20 minutes into the game and the start of a new beer, I hear yelling at the bar. One of the waitresses runs to me and says they need help.
Why him?
Not really getting why they came to me, but
Right?
always willing to jump into a crazy situation. How am I not dead? In parentheses.
Oh, God.
I followed her into the main bar part. I find my quote unquote date leaning into the face of a mean looking biker and poking him in the chest.
No.
All right, this is
No.
where her. I was with you up until right now, girl.
I
I
know.
was with you.
In my head, I suddenly think I was brought in because they thought I was her boyfriend, and now I was going to have to fight this guy.
Oh, no.
I soon found out I was half right. The guy was trying to talk her down and trying to relate to her as she screamed about loading dead bodies into a helicopter. Oh my gosh, sounded like PTSD.
She's got PTSD.
Oh, no.
The bar patrons were like saying like, oh, and like, we know it's been rough, but she took the moment of goodwill to punched the guy who backed off, and the workers turned to me as the bouncer pulled her away to the door. They saw I wasn't going to touch that, and the bartender, a very large, intimidating woman, yelled at her by name and said, "You're cut off again. You have to go."
Oh.
Okay,
That's
well,
right, again.
That also explains, she's obviously a regular there. That explains why she would take two guys to the same bar.
Same place.
Because she goes there all the time.
This is
her bar.
My date seemed not just to expect the expelling, but also to respect it. Without acknowledging the ban, she just continued yelling her way to the door. I went to the bar to pay my tab, finding out that she's already told them that I was paying for her. No problem. This crazy story was worth the $5 pitchers.
Oh, no.
The cheerleader rushed back at me as I handed over some cash and pulled me off to the door. This was my chance to pretend I was Han Solo, so I slapped a $20 on the bar, shrugged at the bartender, but still kicking myself to this day for not saying sorry about the mess.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. I cannot believe that the next part is he goes back to her house.
No.
What?
You had an out.
Your red flags weren't her boobs.
I mean, they're just like
your red flags were
in front of your face.
Yeah. Oh.
I have so many questions.
I have thousands
Curiosity
of questions.
is not the reason why you're like follow. I'm like, come on, buddy. You're not curious.
He's like, she down to
you're
clown.
Like, she down to clown.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Well, we talked about this. There's that whole trope of like crazy girls are good at sex, and I like to fuck crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then you deserve whatever fucking happens after this.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man.
So he goes back to her house, and she introduced some guy who's sitting on the couch, just smiling with like a Joker face.
Oh, my
She
God.
says, he's just a roommate, and she got us both a beer from the fridge and a full large bottle of Jack for herself. This was the first moment I felt a twinge of fear. This is the moment.
This one.
Okay.
She was starting a fight with a biker at the bar, and this is the moment.
And
This is the
she
moment.
invited two guys to meet her from Flooding Fish.
So
Number
many
one.
flags,
So many.
red flags
Oh.
everywhere.
Going.
Piles of flags. You're drowning under the piles of flags.
Meanwhile, I realized that the cheerleader was building into a tirade on random problems with that bar. I looked up to make sure that Jack wasn't getting swung in any direction, and she must have spotted something on my face, listening a little too intensely. Her diatribe turned to me.
Oh, no.
And my eyes widened. I don't even know what was said. I just turned to her roommate for reassurance that I hadn't said anything, and he just gave me a wide hands-out shrug and mumbled, "I don't know, man."
Oh,
He's used to it, this poor guy.
This poor guy, he's got nowhere else to go. He's like,
He's
this
like,
is my...
"That's on you, bro."
He probably likes it when she brings guys home. He's like, I don't have to deal with her one night a week.
I know. I stated I was going to go into the living room and have a seat while she yelled unintelligibly in my general direction. I backed away and sat down on the couch in front of the window and next to the exit. Here's an idea. Go out of the exit.
Why didn't you leave? And why?
Leave
I
the
mean,
situation.
You shouldn't be there in the first place.
Right?
I contemplated a polite way out for everyone. I was really just getting tired.
Oh, okay.
Still completely unaware of what I was into, I looked up from my seat to see a large glass candle speeding directly at my face. I dodged just in time to hear the candle whiz by my ear and then crash through the window.
Oh, no.
She had thrown a candle at me hard enough that it had gone through the window and out into the yard.
Oh, shit.
Spirit of the Lord must have taken over because not today, Satan. I was instantly on my feet with my hands to the sky proclaiming, "I'm out." I moved to the door and pointed at the roommate. "You good?" I can't believe they heard me over her screaming, but they both did, which was not great for her as she screamed, "You don't talk to him. You deal with me." The roommate gave me the exact same smiley shrug as before and then added a one-handed shoo to let me know to get out while I can.
Oh my
no.
God, this poor roommate.
I hastily made it out of the door and down the steps as she followed, screaming, "Yeah, you better run, motherfucker." Last Plenty of Fish date ever.
Oh, my
Honey.
God.
Honey, I'm speaking directly to the woman that this story is about.
Oh, no.
Go to therapy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get some help.
Yeah.
Stop drinking, Jack.
Stop drinking, maybe.
Yeah.
Period. Like, you obviously have some issues that you need, some
To
demons
work
that
through.
you need to work through. Yes, please.
That shit's no joke, man. I've got a cousin that came back. and-
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am not diminishing at all the
No,
fact that she's
no,
got,
no.
obviously, but like, that's also your responsibility to take care of that shit and not
Right.
put it on poor other people. Like, everyone
Right.
in this story, you just put some shit on them. The people at the bar, the
Yeah.
bartenders, the roommate, the two dudes you invited on the same date.
So fucking much.
Yeah, that is a cornucopia of problematic
Yeah.
right there. That's so much.
It's a yikes.
It's a yikes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
So thank you for that.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
God.
During the Summer of Jeep event, well-qualified Washington, D.C. lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE for $289 a month for 24 months with $5,699 to its signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Extra charge for miles over 20,000. Includes 7,500 EV cap cost reduction. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 9/5. Jeep is a registered trademark.
All right,
right.
we got a crazy in love.
We got a crazy in love.
Let's do it.
So,
I'm stretching it out over here. I gotta prepare myself.
you do. I don't know if either of you know this story, so let me know if you do.
Okay.
This is the murder of Sheila von Mack. Do you know who this is? All right.
Okay.
I know we say this all the time, but genuinely,
Buckle up.
buckle the fuck in.
I'm so
All right.
excited. You know,
Here we
I
go.
think I spent the other day like on my couch and watched like 70 episodes of Born to Kill.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
You know that?
Yes.
That series? Oh my god. So
That's
yes.
a good series.
It is
I've-
good.
It's actually really
It's
good.
really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched it on YouTube, and
Yeah.
I think I watched all of them to the point where I was like Googling like Born to Kill, trying to find ones I hadn't
Find
seen.
new ones,
more-
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I don't remember what this show was called, but Anthony and I watched a show last night and this morning that was like American Greed or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Investigate.
I don't know. We watched it on YouTube, so
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I know that show.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So, Sheila von Weiss meets James Mack, who is a famous jazz musician who is considerably older than her. Like, there's probably a 20 to 30 year age gap there, like a very large age gap.
Okay.
She is just kind of like a socialite. They never really say what she does. I think she worked for someone that put her in a circle to meet a lot of, Chicago higher up type people, kind
Okay.
of rubbed elbows with a lot of higher society affluent people.
Got it.
So she meets James Mack, who is a famous jazz musician. And just for the purposes of visualizing this, Sheila von Weiss is a white, very blonde, very blue-eyed, almost Scandinavian-looking woman. And she's beautiful. And James Mack is an older black man.
Okay.
So they end up getting married by all accounts.
What year is this?
This would have been the 90s.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
At some point.
Okay.
So I think, they get married. And by all accounts, the age difference isn't a problem. They seem to really love each other. It's a very positive relationship. They move into a big house in an affluent suburb of Chicago.
Okay.
So doing very well, very idyllic kind of lifestyle. At this point, although James already has children and grandchildren from previous relationship, she wants a child, so they
She's
have...
like, I'm gonna lock this money down.
Right, lock it
That's what she's
down,
gonna
lock
do.
it in. So they have a child who they name Heather. So Heather, apparently, James doted on Heather. The parents doted on her. She was an only child. She's the cutest little, mixed baby you've ever seen. She's adorable. So things are going well. They take a lot of trips. They're living that kind of upper middle class to upper class lifestyle.
Yeah.
They go on family vacations every single year. So one year they
Where's this money coming from?
he's a jazz musician,
I didn't know jazz
Ain't no
musicians.
fucking money in that.
but a famous one, like in Chicago. Like he gets hired to do a lot of work for a lot of famous people. So some of the money I think is his, and also he's older, so he's had a lot of time if he invested and saved well.
Crude.
And then I don't know what she did, but I get the impression that she comes from money.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think combined they had
Have a nice little income.
a very nice life.
Nice.
So they go on trips every year. It's their thing. They do a family trip somewhere every year. So one year they are on a cruise. I can't remember where they were on this cruise. They went somewhere on a cruise, and Sheila wanted to get a massage or a facial or something. So James takes Heather, who's very young at the time, to the swimming pool. Something happens. James slips, breaks his leg.
What?
And it is not handled well at sea by the medical staff there.
Oh, no.
So he is then, after that, wheelchair bound for the rest of his life.
Rest of his life?
Mhm. It kind of pushed him into early retirement. He was old already. I mean, older already.
But shit.
But yeah, it didn't heal right. Something about they did
The
not
way that they
attend to it well on the ship. So they eventually sue that
That was my next line.
Yeah.
they sue that cruise line, and they receive something like $1.5 million in a settlement.
Well, I mean,
So-
and you know what?
Well, like lost income and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually seems kind of low.
Yeah. I mean, and truthfully, he could go without working. Like, he didn't have to work anymore. He could have retired, but
But that's forced. You're
It's forced,
out of your
right.
lifestyle, and you're
Right.
forced out of your. Yeah, that's fucked up.
So you would think after that they would stop going on family trips, right?
Yeah.
Or at least stop going on cruises.
Yeah.
But Sheila is like, nope, I love these family trips. This is our thing.
Yeah.
And
Honestly, why should they?
I wouldn't go on a cruise again after that
I probably wouldn't go on a
experience.
cruise again,
I would
maybe.
not.
Yeah.
Going on trips is one thing, although it was hard for him because he's in a wheelchair now. So getting around is
Almost like a cruise ship does make most sense because it is always, other
Yeah.
places. Yeah.
Exactly, because if you're trying to go on a regular vacation where you're having to do a lot of walking and stuff, it's a lot in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So they go on another cruise, I think a couple of years later, to Greece, and he suffers a pulmonary embolism.
Jesus, cruises are not agreeing
not
with
the
this
thing.
dude.
Not his
So
thing. Yeah.
he passes away on the cruise ship in Greece with Heather and Sheila by his side in the cruise room, like in their room, their bedroom.
Oh no.
Yes. So then it is just Sheila and Heather. And Heather is like a preteen or a very young teenager at this point, and things start to get out of hand very quickly. It seems like it starts out as kind of like regular teenage sort of
Angst,
rebellion,
sure.
angst, fights, quickly spirals out of control. Cops are called numerous occasions. She is violent. Like, Sheila is scared. Like, because Heather is out of control. She starts doing things like she would just go away. She starts mixing in with I think there was an element maybe of her not. She wanted the lifestyle and the money and all that that went along with that aspect, but she deliberately would go off and kind of
Rebel
slum it or
against
whatever
it, yeah.
with like, people who very much were not of her social class at all, and wouldn't really tell them that she was from this affluent kind of social class. So yes, there's a lot of violence, a lot of yelling. Cops are called so many times. Heather starts stealing money, stealing Sheila's credit cards. She does this all the time.
Wow.
And so eventually they leave this suburb.
So for somebody who doesn't want money, she sure likes happen.
Yeah, no. That's it's the weirdest
like
thing.
a very teenage thing. though.
Totally.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing because clearly, and as the story goes on, it'll become more apparent. Clearly, she wants money. Like, that's very clear, but she wants to also, like, she starts hanging out with these amateur rappers and things like the Chicago like hip hop scene or whatever, these like amateur rappers. So eventually they move out of their house in the affluent suburb of Chicago and they move into Chicago, which was not good because things just kind of escalated even further from there. So she starts seeing this guy named Tommy Schaefer. And Sheila hates Tommy Schaefer. Tommy Schaefer is one of these amateur rappers. He runs in this crowd.
Okay.
I like how you did air quote rap.
I mean,
A rap musician.
I've never heard anything that he's done, but I feel like you need to be leery. Every time I've met people who are like, well, that's not true. Actually, I know some pretty good rappers who like actually perform and like do a good job and all that stuff. But I feel like it's such an easy thing for people who just want to portray a certain kind of lifestyle
Right.
to say that they do.
Right.
Because they want to be that and they want the lifestyle of that, but they don't want to actually learn how to be good at rapping. And
Right.
that's kind of the impression I get from him. You know, also, I have never listened to a single thing he's done. So
There you go.
You're like, but also don't have any clue.
he could be the next Eminem. I have no idea.
Is he white?
No, he's not white.
Oh.
He's not white. He looks like he might be biracial as well, or he might be black. It's unclear. But
Okay.
so she starts dating him. Sheila hates him, clearly hates him. Tommy is 21. Heather is 18 at this point.
Okay.
It's not bad,
No.
you know, and they kind of hang out in the same circles. And granted, those circles are not circles that Sheila wants her daughter
Right.
to be rolling around in. So more fights, more fights, more fights. At one point, Sheila comes home to find her office completely ransacked. It is torn apart. There is stuff everywhere. File folders pulled out. Things are all over the place. And what she learns is that Heather had ransacked her office looking for her life insurance policy.
Oh, geez.
My-
That's got to send a chill down your
Yeah.
spine.
Yes.
No shit.
As a
She finds the life insurance policy and finds that her aunt Debbie, Sheila's sister, is the beneficiary of the policy. And Heather is pissed. And she like has it out with her mom about that she's not the
that's
beneficiary.
morbid as fuck.
So
yeah.
she told Sheila told her sister Debbie that she told Heather, "Don't think you'll kill me and get a $500,000 life insurance because you won't."
Shit.
Damn, girl.
Actually said it to her. But I mean, she was genuinely afraid of her daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That-
genuinely afraid of her.
Wow.
So she sets up a.
God, I can't.
That's so sad.
Imagine.
So this set off,
Of course.
alarm bells for her, of course.
Sure.
So she knows that she needs to set up a trust, but is also concerned that Heather will do something. So she sets up a trust and puts her brother in charge of it, makes, or I guess is the trustee of that,
Sure.
and then makes Heather the beneficiary, but says that she cannot receive her trust fund until she's 30. So it's a $1.5 million trust fund, but she is not eligible to receive it until she turns 30.
Okay.
So,
Jeez,
because
man.
that's
Can
how
you
concerned she
imagine
was.
that's your own daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so depressing.
It's
Yeah, it really is. So at one point, Sheila gets a call. It's like middle of the night. It's her credit card company saying someone has spent like $4,000 on your credit card
wow.
at this hotel. So she goes over there and finds out that Sheila and Tommy had stolen one of her credit cards, which was something
Sheila or Heather?
Oh, sorry, Heather and Tommy,
Okay.
which is something that Heather did consistently, steal
Right.
her mom's
Wow.
credit cards, and was throwing a massive party on Sheila's dime. So in the hotel room,
Wow.
throwing a huge party, booze, food, lots of people on her mom's credit card. So Sheila,
Holy shit.
yeah, Sheila finally calls the cops, has Tommy and Heather arrested, and she's like, I'm gonna press charges this
Yeah,
time. Like, I'm
good.
going to press charges this time. Heather gets arrested, and everyone is like, do not bail her out of jail. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm hiding behind my mic. Oh,
She does
God.
it.
Of course she does.
She is like, she's my daughter. I don't want her to be in jail. So she bails her out of jail. Which this girl, I mean, this is why she continues this behavior, is because there are no real consequences
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
for anything she does.
Do whatever the fuck she wants.
So in the meantime, all this time for months, Sheila has been planning. She's tried to maintain their going on trips every year. So she has been planning a trip to Bali. And she'd been planning this for a long time. She was like, it will bring me and Heather back together. It will.
This is starting to sound familiar now.
Yeah, it will get her away from Tommy. She's like, we're going to do it. And everyone in her family is like, do not take Heather to Bali with you. It seems like, I mean, you're rewarding her essentially for like really bad behavior. She's dangerous. Like, don't bring her with you to Bali. But she does. And you can see these pictures of the two of them in Bali, and they look happy. And she, you know, she kind of says that she at first was starting to feel like maybe it was working. She's emailing her friend, and I think maybe a lawyer of hers that she communicated frequently with, and things were okay. Then she emails it's unclear whether this was a lawyer or a friend or a lawyer friend, unclear. But she emailed him and was like, I'm worried. I'm scared. I can't find Heather. Then she finds out that Heather was using her credit card again at a pharmacy and getting pills at this pharmacy. So she was like loading up on pills at this pharmacy. So that was obviously concerning to her. So then, this is the most crazy part. They're only a couple of days into their trip. Then Tommy shows up. Tommy shows up, $12,000 trip that Heather paid for with Sheila's money to get Tommy out there. Jesus. Sheila had no idea Tommy was coming. So, of course, she's furious. She wakes up in the middle of the night and Heather's not there. She freaks out. So she goes down to the front desk and they're like, did you know that there's this other room like on your dime?
No.
Essentially. So she has it out with Heather in the lobby. And then the two of them go back up to the room. I guess I don't know what happened. Eventually, Sheila falls asleep. You can read all of these two are so fucking stupid. You can read their text message exchange basically saying that they are going to knock Sheila out. At first, they wanted to make it look like an accident by the beach. Heather and Tommy. They wanted to make it look like an accident on the beach. That's why she was getting prescriptions. They were going to grind up pills and put it in her wine at first.
Oh my God.
And then they were like, okay, that's not going to work. So you can see in their text exchange where she's like, we need to like knock her out somehow. And Tommy mentions that he saw like a glass or metal like fruit basket in the lobby. So you can see him walking down the hall with something under his shirt. Like you can see like the handle.
Oh my God.
And he goes into
real conspicuous.
Right. They're so dumb. He goes into the room and then it was very quickly, shortly thereafter, he hits Sheila over the head several times. She fought like crazy, like broken. She fought like crazy because she had broken fingers, like broken fingernails. Like, she fought super hard, but you know, in the end, they managed to beat her to death, basically.
Oh my God.
And like, they don't think anybody's like this.
No,
isn't
they're
gonna come
so
down
dumb.
on them.
They're so stupid, and they
God.
And then they're like, okay, what do we do now? We are in this room with
we just visibly fought in the lobby,
right?
We obviously have a hotel room that everyone knows my mom didn't know about,
not well thought out in any way. So they are like, what do we do? What do we do? We can't just leave her here, which I'm kind of like, why? So they, and this is terrible, and I'm sorry, they manage, and I don't even know how, because this is the picture you would have seen.
Do not tell me they Weekend at Bernie's her.
No.
I was like, oh my God.
But this is the picture you would have seen, because this is the one that circulated everywhere, was they managed to get her body into her suitcase. And it is not that big of a suitcase. I don't know how they did it. I've seen pictures of this woman and I've seen pictures of this suitcase, and I don't know how they got her body into it, but they did somehow.
Wow.
So they get her body into this suitcase. They're like, all right, let's get out of here. So they take it with them. They put it in the back of a taxi, and they were like, BRB. So they go inside the lobby, and at that point, they're confronted by hotel staff that are like, hey, how are you going to pay for this other room? They panic. They run out the back, jump over the fence, leaving the body in the back of the taxi. So eventually the taxi driver is sitting out there and he's like,
What the fuck?
Are they coming back? I don't know if they're coming back or not. So he goes and looks, and you can see pictures of the back of the car has blood on it. Then he opens the trunk up, and they didn't even wipe down the fucking suitcase. The suitcase has blood on it.
Oh my
So-
god.
Yeah. So he calls the cops. They show up, obviously open the suitcase, and they're like, we know we
know who did
We know
this.
who did
Right.
this, and we now need to find these two people. So they're on like all alert to find them.
Right.
Didn't take that long before they were
Shocking.
found because they are not very smart.
They're clearly,
So
Too many Christmas.
they were arrested, and Heather becomes kind of this like tabloid sensation. She is all over everything. She doesn't seem to be showing a lot of remorse. There's a lot of pictures of her not really looking too upset about the fact that her mom she
Is
just
dead.
beat- and she
and
was
she
there.
killed. Oh my god! And she was part of it.
Yeah, like I mean, I think at the end of the day, they've determined that she didn't actually kill her mom. Tommy did it, but she was there.
She was
and
party to it.
Yeah.
Incredibly complicit.
Yeah.
Helped plan it. So
Jesus.
it was then revealed, and this was part of why it was such a big tabloid sensation, that Heather was pregnant. So she goes through, you see it in these pictures, she's visibly super pregnant, like throughout all of these things. And she immediately tries to say, her and Tommy are so stupid, and they try and turn the tables on Sheila and say, we told Sheila that I was pregnant and she flew off the handle and was going to kill us.
Oh
So
my god!
we
What-
had to
except
kill-
that all these text messages say nothing to that.
And not
Yeah.
only that, but there's proof in email form that she had, God bless this woman communicating through email so much, because there's proof that Sheila had emailed her friends and said she knew that Heather was pregnant. Like she knew Heather was pregnant.
Oh.
So it's not like she could have just flown off the handle
Yeah.
in rage.
Right.
Like their story doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, Heather, meanwhile, because on the table is death by firing squad for both of them.
Yeah. They're
Oh,
in
shit.
Bali.
They're in Bali. They're in
Oh,
Indonesia.
shit.
They're in Indonesia.
Oh my god.
So
You
that's on
would
the table.
Actually,
Shit.
almost rather that than being in an Indonesian prison.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. So she,
Should have thought ahead and done that shit in America, where you can get 3 squares and a television.
well,
You ain't getting that shit in Indonesia.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
hold on, you're gonna be real mad in a minute. Okay, so it's on the table, death by firing squad. Obviously, Heather is like, oh shit. So she's like, we need to fund a defense. So she's trying to get her hands on her trust fund to fund her defense.
Bitch,
And
no.
there's a law in Chicago that's like, hey, if you kill somebody, you no longer can have access to their trust fund, which you would think would be an everywhere law.
Yeah,
Applaud that.
that's,
But
that
I don't
seems
kn-
like common sense.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it is.
Good for you.
But because there was like a loophole situation where it was like innocent until proven guilty, she hadn't been convicted of anything yet, the judge granted her $150,000 to fund her defense, which is crazy money, especially in Indonesian dollars. Crazy
Wow.
money.
Wow.
Which a lot of people think was a big part of why her and Tommy got such light sentences. So,
I hate all of this.
so Heather got 10 years for aiding and abetting,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
and Tommy got 18 for murder. And the judge basically
Indonesia.
in Indonesia, and the judge basically said that they showed remorse, which I didn't see, and more likely it's that they had a lot of money.
They
Yeah.
paid.
Wow.
And that because she was pregnant,
Mhm.
that was a big part of it. So she goes to jail. Actually, right before she goes to jail, she gives birth to a baby girl whom she names Stella. In Indonesian law, I guess the baby is allowed to stay in the jail cell with the mother for 2 years, for the first 2 years, until they're 2 years old. So you can watch video of this. She's playing with baby Stella, hanging out with Stella in her jail cell
I'm shook.
with this baby.
Yeah.
So
I don't have words for this.
there was also a lot of other stuff where like Tommy had involved his cousin like after the fact, where like so his cousin actually went to court here in the United States in Chicago because there are text message exchanges again about his cousin trying to like tell them how to like get rid of the body, hide the body.
Oh my God. And so he is tried here in the States for his
because
part.
he was here. Yes. So
Holy
for
shit.
conspiracy or whatever. And so he gets 9 years. But there's even a text message exchange between him and his like baby mama or wife or whatever that was like, we're going to be rich, like bet on that. Because also Heather had lied to Tommy and told him that she was standing to gain like $11 million. And really the entire estate was about $2 million.
Wow.
So he had like a baby mama on the side, like that he was.
Oh no,
with?
not this was
cousin.
his cousin's wife or whatever,
Okay. I was like,
or
man.
baby mama or whatever. So the cousin gets 9 years here in the States. So here's where it gets what you said about Indonesian prisons being fucking awful. Doesn't seem like it, because Heather has, and I think if it hasn't been taken down, we could probably still find them. Heather has full access to her cell phone.
What?
And full access to social media. So you can watch her videos, her smoking, drinking, dancing, partying with the girls in the prison on her Instagram, on her
What?
Facebook, Snapchat. She made
This ain't no broke down palace, that's for sure.
Shit.
She made a YouTube video. She made a YouTube video where she said, "I'm Heather Mack. I don't regret killing my mom. I only regret involving Tommy. He
What the
didn't.
O.J.
He didn't
Simpson
do
shit is
anything."
this?
She said, "I killed my mom," and this is fucked up. She said, "I killed my mom because my mom killed my dad when we were in that cruise." She said that my mom killed my dad, and so I killed my mom. And then I also saw things with her. So to answer your question about what I think went wrong with this girl, I think she's a fucking sociopath. I've seen videos with her. I saw a thing where they were interviewing her. She was so like, and later, by the way, she withdrew all of that and said, "No, it was Tommy, never mind." And I'm recanting my YouTube confession. But she also like, I saw a video with her where she was like, she had a video interview with a guy, and she was saying how like it was a very abusive household growing up. My mom would hit my dad, and then my dad would hit my mom, and then I would hit my mom. And yes, and everyone's like nothing
My
about
face right now. Christina's face right now.
And whenever he said, "Well, what about the text messages?" Right? Because she's still trying to be like it was self-defense. And in that interview, she's like, "What? What was that? Oh, someone's calling me. I have to go. I'll call you back." And never calls him back because she can't answer that. Like, there's no way to get out of that. There's no way to lie your way out of that.
What the fuck?
So Stella moved out of the prison whenever she turned 2. So she spent 2 years, first 2 years of her life in an Indonesian prison.
Jesus.
And then she was moved out of the prison. I guess Heather had made friends with a woman who was a Australian woman who was living in Bali, and she and her husband agreed to take Stella until Heather gets out of prison, and then they'll give Stella back to Heather. And it should also be said that Stella recently has been granted the estate. So the daughter is going to have the estate. Which a lot of people think that that's the only reason why Heather even kept this baby in the first place, was because that's her ticket to the estate. Because that's her daughter.
I feel sick.
Yeah, it's freaking awful.
God, can this Australian couple adopt this baby while she's in prison?
I don't know that
Jesus.
they should, because they seem to, someone completely uninvolved needs to adopt this baby. They need to change this baby's name and get her out of the situation, because it is horrifying. Heather had 8 years or whatever I said, 10 years. But because of the way Indonesian prisons are set up, she could get out sooner based on like a certain number of credits or whatever. And this happened in 2015. So she could be out as late as 2025 or sooner than that.
Ugh.
So
wow.
Yes.
I'm shook.
So
That's
that is
crazy.
the story of Heather Mack and Tommy Schaefer.
That is not Return of the Mac. We do
No.
not want
No.
Return of the Mac.
I mean, I just feel so bad for like, yeah, that guy's legacy is ruined. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
now it's
Yeah.
always tied to your shitty daughter. And this poor woman, like, she had one child. This was her
She
only
wanted
child.
one thing, a
Yeah,
child.
and
oh,
I do think she was spoiled. I do think a lot of other things went into her like personality.
And
I also
behaviors.
just straight think she's sociopath.
sociopath,
Like the way
yeah.
that she talked about it was like, she also said weird things in that interview, like, I wanted to take my mommy with me. Like, as far as like why she put her in the suitcase. Like, I didn't want to just leave her there. I miss my mommy. And like
Oh my
weird
God.
shit, dude. It's weird.
so
dude.
weird.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. So yeah.
Good story.
Oh man.
Well, on that depressing note.
No shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
I always feel like we come to the end of these and then we're like, we have all the fun stuff in the first half, and then the second half is like, how upset are you now?
Yeah,
Right.
How pissed off can we make our fans?
Yes.
Well, if you have crazy in love story ideas or shorties or questions or just anything, you can drop us the line at myworstdatepodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Worst Date Podcast. You can,
My Worst Date Podcast?
My Worst Date Podcast. You can go to Twitter, Worst Date Pod. You can join our Facebook group where we do all kinds of fun stuff. And you can also go to patreon.com/myworstdate and support us for lots of bonus content and videos and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, we're constantly uploading new stuff there. So it's a great way to keep in touch with us. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for this week, unless we have anything else. Again, shout out to Idris Elba, who's,
Ooh,
Hottest man
sexiest
alive.
man alive.
sexiest man alive.
All right.
I said hottest, sexiest.
Same diff.
Same. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media Podcast.